Thought I could count on you. I thought we had a deal. I gave you all I had. Put you in front of friends. It was me and you. For it was one of them. I introduced you to them. I should have seen it then. It was never about me. It's what I could do for you. What you could get about me. Who I could introduce you to. I knew the truth. Still there was nothing I would do for you. A fool for you. You break my legs. Still jump through hoops for you. I thought we had a deal. 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 It's hard to let you go when I'm still holding on. Said I should leave you, I don't need you, should be moving on. This shit is stupid hard, and I ain't ready for it. Said I should leave you, I don't need you, I ain't ready for it. They weren't there for it, no, they weren't there, were they? They weren't there when she despaired to have her prayers working. She wanted to die daily, and I was 9 maybe. I'm on the couch with mom, talking about don't cry, baby. We'll be alright, baby. Yeah, we gon' make it through. I'm scared to death inside, but I know I can't let it through. I ain't know where to turn, I didn't know what to do. You gave me hope when there was none. I owe my life to you. I thought we had a deal.
Leave me not ready to let you go. Let you go. I'm begging, don't leave me. Take anything you want, everything if you want it.
You gave my life purpose before it had any. You gave me courage when I didn't have any. We were the best of friends before I had any. I gave you all I had. You turned your back to me. You set a trap for me. I never seen it coming. You had me blind to if I didn't want to feel you numb it. You left my life a wreck, and I hate you for it. I'm still in love with you, and I hate you for it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to St. John Live on this Monday night at 9 p.m. My name is Mike St. John. I am in long-term recovery. My sobriety clean date's June the 1st, 2016. Only by the grace of God, he believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, huh? Welcome. We got 11 in here right now, man. Hit that share button, hit the heart button, man. I know we've been absent for a long time. Me and my wife's had a lot of stuff going on, but we're back. We're trying to get a schedule going, get this lives back up and popping. But just grateful to be here, man. Grateful to be in position. Grateful my wife is watching the kids. But let's give some shout outs here to my page sponsors, man. One Stop Phone Shop out of London, Kentucky. Josh Maxey and Daryl Hudson, 606-657-2750. Right there beside Walmart in London, Kentucky. All your Android needs, all your iPhone needs, busted screens. If you ain't got no credit, bad credit, walk in there and tell them I sent you, and they will hook you up with a phone. Adam Larkin with Get Live Recovery Apparel, man. Check him out. He's doing all kinds of stuff. He's been all over the world spreading his apparel. Came from the bottom. He's on the top. He's on his way to the top. The sky's not the limit for him. Check him out, getlive.com, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Reels. He's doing it all, man. If you don't care, in the comments, post your sobriety clean dates. Let us know where you're watching from. I don't care if you got 1 day, 1 hour, 10 days, 10 years, whatever. You're welcome here. I'm in Richmond, Kentucky, right downtown Richmond, Kentucky. So hit that up in the comments, man. Let us know where you're watching from. I will try to acknowledge everybody in the comments. St. John Recovery, 859-300-1503. Just grateful to be here, man. You know, it's been a long ride for me and my wife. Been a long 7 months, man, but God is good. And here we are. We're not going nowhere. Like I said before, man, hit that share button. Let's get this shared out to the groups. You know, I went to a funeral here the other day, man, and as soon as I got out of the funeral, man, another one passed away. And, you know, his funeral is Friday. You know, you don't got to use, no matter what shows up in life, you know, you don't got to pick up and use, man. Pick the phone up and call somebody. Pick the phone up and say, I need some help. Pick the phone up and just talk about what's going on, man. And that's what the program teaches us, man, is, you know, talk about what's going on. We have to, man. Us as men, I done a video this morning at the, our women's house, the Jasmine's house. And, I'm far from perfect, man. And I struggle. I go through some stuff. And, we got to talk about what's going on. Mental health is a big issue. And sometimes I get down and out and depressed, man. And, I fall short and I have to find somebody to talk to. And it's what we got to do. But our third annual Hometown Hope, it's coming up 2024 in May. I've not released the dates yet. Yeah, I have. I released the dates, but I've not released the time yet. It is May the 3rd and 4th, I'm pretty sure, or the 4th and 5th. I think it's the 3rd and 4th. I don't even know. That's crazy. We've got so much going on. But it is coming up. It's at the Corbin Civic Center, the same place we've done it the last 2 years. But yeah, just grateful to be here, man. I'm going to get in these comments, give some shout outs. See who's up in these comments here. Let's go up to the top. I've got my guest in the back. Ashley Huffman, welcome. Adam Larkin, I see you, boy. Get in the house. Brittany Clemens, always here. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Adam. Kenny Daniels, I see you. 12-16-21, Lake Cumberland Recovery. Always willing to help somebody. My wife's in the living room. Got her kids in there. They're wide open. I hear them already. Let's see. Benjamin Elkins. Welcome, Benjamin. I'm glad you finally found it, man. He's hit me up for the last 3 or 4 hours, man. How can I watch it? How can I watch it? I'm glad you're in here, man. Just hang out. We got a powerful story right here. Let's watch this platform. Jesse Young, I see you, man. 4816, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Jesse was one of the guys, man, I met when I went to the Hope Center, and he's out here killing it, man. He's doing awesome. He's a success story. Ashley's watching from Indiana. Brittany Clemens is from Indiana. Benjamin is in Louisville. Bev Stamper, I see you. Welcome, London, Kentucky. There's my wife, Marie, St. John Recovery Behavioral Health Counseling. Janet Jones out of Oneida, Kentucky. Adam Larkin, New York in the house. New York. That's all I hear is that song, New York, when I see him. Kayla Curtis, right here in Richmond, Kentucky with you all. I see you. Ashley Huffman, do you know anyone I could call to talk to get help? Well, yeah, I'll call my wife. Send her a message. Gary Wayne Wilder, I see you. 2 miles on the river in Winchester. Danny Vance, I see you. Well, welcome, buddy. Yeah, Lori Davis, hoping to get there tomorrow. Okay. Awesome. Love you too, Danny. Jerry Owens. Yeah, me and Jerry go way back. Welcome, Jerry, 12-3-18. Jimmy Curry, straight out of Manchester, Kentucky. I see you, Jimmy. Welcome, bub. Benjamin Elkins. But yeah, man, grateful to be here. Grateful to be back. Got a message tonight. And, we're just messengers, man. Faith tells me that no matter what lies ahead of me, God's got me. And I've been on this journey, man, for coming up on 8 years. My wife's got a little over 8.5. And, I always heard in treatment, faith without works is dead. And I always use an excuse. If I couldn't see it, I didn't believe it. And that kept me hung up for a long time because of core belief and not doing my own investigating or not doing my own research. I had to see something to believe it. Back to trust. I had to, if you tell me you was going to do something, a lot of people hurt me because they didn't do it. So I had trust issues, but faith is knowing that something out there greater than us has got us, no matter how bad or how, the times, the trials, tribulations, the mountains, the hurdles, the struggles, no matter what, as long as we don't give up and as long as we pray and as long as we latch on to the fellowship, to the church, to praying, to the scripture, to whatever, we got to have faith that it's going to get better because all storms pass as long as we keep putting in the work. And in my addiction, I didn't have the fight to keep going through the storm because number one, I ran out of dope. Number two, I didn't have nobody push me. And number three, I didn't believe that it got better. Today, I have faith that it's going to get better. Number one. Number two, I don't got to see it to believe it because you're looking at it. And everybody that I hang out with, that is the prime example that I need to see that faith is out there, because they've been through hell and they're still here. That is what I need to see. That's the evidence. So I had to let go of, I got to see it to believe it, because that kept me hung up, and to keep you hung up. If you understand what I'm saying, let me know in the comments, because I don't know why I'm preaching, because I'm preaching right now. I don't know why this, I don't even know why I'm saying this, but when my guest got on here, he brought up faith, and I said, bro, this is the name of the whole title is faith. But my point is, you got to have faith that it's going to get better, because it does get better. If you give up, it's not going to get better. And it's easy to give up, but I promise you it's going to get better. But if you ain't connected, you have no help. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. That means a lot. You hang out at the barbershop long enough, you get your hair cut. You hang out with dope dealers, you're going to sell dope, you're going to get high. You hang out with businessmen, you're going to start a business. You hang out with gardeners, you're going to start planting seeds. You see what I'm saying? And it took me till I was, in early recovery to understand that. Your circle today is what you're going to grab a hold of and you're going to become. It's that simple. But I'm done preaching. It's not about me tonight. This is my platform. It's about my guest. I'm going to bring Chance on here. I met Chance through Facebook, actually. And I've been to a few of his rallies, man. And we done a documentary. And he invited me over to do a documentary. Peters, I can't say his last name, but I'll let Chance say it. And I heard Chance's story, man. And he's from the country over here. And he's another evidence that you might need to see to get some faith that it does get better. And, he's a living, walking testimony. I don't know why I started talking, but I'm going to bring Chance on here. Let's get him started. Chance, bub, I tried to steal the show, and it ain't about me tonight. It's about you, bro. But I had to speak on faith, because that's what me and you was talking about, man. And, faith, period. I mean, look at you. Like, drop the mic on faith, bro.
Man, faith is where it all happens. That's where it takes place. I gotta say this: ain't no high like the Most High. I've tried all of them, man. Nothing else will sustain you. Absolutely not. I mean, the Bible even says, faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things not seen. So once you put a little faith in something, man, put your faith in God and start trying to do something different, you will start seeing a little evidence. And then, hey, I want to go this way, man. I'm tired of going this way. That way don't work. Jails, institutions, or death is the only other way, faith takes me. So, I had to grab a hold of it. And it's, like you said, man, we're miracles. Walking, talking miracles, man.
Yes.
We couldn't be here right now.
No.
The grace of God, for sure. But man, faith is the foundation of this whole recovery thing. I don't care if you work NA, AA, faith-based program, every one of them, you got to get down with a higher power. You go to Bill Wilson's house. The dude's house is stacked full of Bibles, man. He knew that it took faith in God. And it's hard for some people to believe coming fresh into recovery, It's hard to grasp a hold of that, because we've been hurt by the world, man, and we all turn our back on God. It's everybody's fault. It's God's fault. Why did you do this to me, God? Why did you let this happen to me? Why is it always raining on me? But once I got in recovery, man, and started, working on myself, I realized that God wasn't the problem. I was the problem.
Yep. Exactly. Let me say this, like, no matter what we was going through, like today, I can, on this 8 years I've been on this journey, man.
Yeah.
Once I started putting faith and praying and just not giving up, man, no matter what storm I went through, bro, when I got through it and I look back, like, I didn't give up, and I had faith that we was going to get through it. And I say we, me and my wife, because it's
Yeah.
been me and her this whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was easy. The devil wanted us to give up, man. Our mind was like, you can't do it. You're not going to be able to do it. You know, give up. You know, everybody, the world's against you. But no, we don't give up around here.
No. But, you know, man, being in recovery, being in ministry, when you're trying to do good, the devil's going to attack you in every which way. He's going to tell you that what you're doing is not useful. It's not helping anybody. You might as well hang it up. You know, he comes at me all the time like that. And it's because he knows what's inside us. He knows our worth. Okay? He knows the lives that can be impacted. Because if somebody didn't pour into me, if somebody didn't pour into St. John and tell you that you are worthy, that you are chosen, you know, then we wouldn't be where we're at. But the enemy wants to silence that. And that's why we're recovering out loud.
Yes, yes. So, Chance, let's kind of introduce who you are, where you're from, your sobriety clean date, and I wanted to hear your story, bro, because your story is wild, it's crazy, and you know, from selling cop cars to riding in the back of the cop car, bro. And I'm gonna go try to find this. I'm gonna go try to get on YouTube and post the clip to let these people go view this video that we have on YouTube, the documentary, on my cell phone here if I can, and just kind of share your story. And I'll be back on here in a minute. But yeah, just kind of follow through with that.
So like I said, I'm Chance Sweet. I'm from Monticello, Kentucky, originally. Coming up tomorrow is my 4 years sobriety date. By the grace of God, like I said, I shouldn't be here talking with y'all right now. My story is pretty crazy, but it's a story of what God can do if you seek Him. So, let me say, and Peter Santinello is the name of the guy that does the documentaries. I was thinking of it's a crazy last name, but we'll get to that, where the places God can take you if you seek Him. Said I grew up in Monticello. There ain't much to do there. Ain't a whole lot for kids to do. We would go out on the lake, play basketball. I played football, baseball, and in school I made good grades. You know, morally looking at me, I thought I was doing good. I had a drug problem growing up. I was drugged to church every time the doors was open. My daddy was a preacher, but I never surrendered to God. I got saved when I was 18, but I didn't surrender my life to Him, and that was the problem the whole time, is I was running on chance, not God. But so, like I said, in school, high school, I'd smoke a little pot, drink a little bit, and like I said, I think it was always looking for that acceptance, you know, always looking to fit in, and I could fit in with all the cool kids doing that, you know. And so I think baseball was one thing that I really tried to find my identity in. You know, I went to Cocoa Beach to the Montreal Expos training camp and played down there my senior year, and I thought that I was going to make it. You know, that was going to be my thing. You know, I could go to college and do this and that, but I threw my rotator cuff out my senior year playing down there, and so it was over with. So all these dreams and aspirations I had were gone, you know.
Right.
So I ended up graduating. Like I said, I made good grades. I went to college, Somerset Community College, but it was just me and my buddies hanging out. You know, we were skipping school. I found my first love, Percocet, and that's when I really learned how to numb the pain. You know, that took the emotional pain away. It took the mental thoughts away. I could just numb everything with a Percocet. And so I started doing that, and I started missing school. At college, I wouldn't show up. So eventually, my aunt and uncle asked me if I'd come to the car business. He was general manager at Chevrolet and Cadillac, and my aunt had done finance for years. He's like, look, just drop out of school. You can come make as much money as you would graduating college for 4 years. So I'm like, all right, bet, let's do it.
Yeah, here we come.
Here we go. So I I always had the gift of gab, and I could talk to anybody and fit in with anybody. And so I took off running with selling cars. But I had this full blown addiction that was starting to grow, you know. Of course, it prospered into OxyContin 80s were a big thing back then. And, you know, we had people going to Florida. We all know about that. People coming from Ohio, everywhere, just sending them out. And so, like I said, at this time, here's what I'm doing. I'm trying to build my kingdom up. You know, I'm like, look at Chance. Look what he's got. He's got the new truck. He's got this and that. I have my own little apartment, you know, fresh out of high school, year or two. And so, you know, my ego was like this. And so, man, I'm doing OxyContins, 30s. I don't have a whole lot of responsibility at the time. I got this little apartment, little truck payment. So I can play all the time, man. You know, people would come to the car lot and I'd go test drive a car. We'd take a spin, do a drug deal. Nobody knew, you know?
Yeah.
So I kept excelling at selling cars, but I had this underlying addiction that wasn't out of hand yet. You know, I was still a functioning addict then.
Yeah.
Yep. Not really, but
delusional.
Yeah, delusional, deceived. So my uncle ends up opening a dealership in Monticello, in my hometown, and I ended up running the place. So I'm 23 years old, running a used car lot for Chevrolet. You know, I'm the man, bro. I got this going on, driving whatever used car I want to off the lot, truck. And, you know, just like I said, man, I was so full of myself, man. Yep. And so I ended up, I had a guy that was working with me. He was going to Florida. Just cops would even come by the dealership, man. I went to school with their kids. They would come by and hang out, shoot the breeze. Like I said, somebody roll up, we'd go out to a truck and act like they was looking at it, do a drug deal with a cop there. You know, it didn't matter. Just careless. But eventually it caught up with me. You know, I got to where I was, and my habit was very expensive.
Yeah.
We done buy here, pay here as well through the lot. So I worked all the books. You know, I was cooking books.
Yeah.
Robbing Peter to pay Paul, man. I was trading cars I'd trade it for. I was trading them to dope dealers to go to Florida, and then I'd have to go repo the car because they didn't deliver on their end, man. It's just craziness, you know?
Yep.
Nuts. But eventually, I messed over the wrong person. So said, you know, in that game, you may have $10,000 one day. Next day, you sent your money out, you're broke, you know?
Yep.
But you're still going to have to feed that addiction that you created, this monster. Like I compare it to, you know, the little cute monkeys you see on these videos. They got the little leash on them, man. They're crawling around. Everybody wants one of them, you know? Well, addiction's like that. So you get this cute little monkey. He's cool, man. You feed him a couple slices of banana every day. All your friends want to see him, pet on him, love him. But every day you still got to feed him.
Yeah.
You got to maintain him. Okay.
Yep.
And his appetite grows. And then one day you wake up and you've got Donkey Kong on your back and he's hungry. That cute little innocent thing has turned into that, you know?
Yep. You're exactly right.
Yeah. But so I come to my dealership one morning after messing the wrong person over for a bunch of Oxycontins. Pulling the dealership that morning, I drive by my row of used trucks. I'm like, oh man, it's got a flat tire. That one's got a flat tire too.
Got him.
That one does too. Yeah. And then I look at the side of the trucks. Down the side of the beds is keyed OC in the side of 3 truck beds. And then the
Wow.
Monticello Motor Company sign has OC sprayed on the sign. And I'm like, here we go. I got to call my uncle, the owner. I've got to call the cops. What am I going to do? So my old mentality kicks in to cover up. That's what I do. I cover things up, you know. Always trying to cover my last mistake up. So I take a key, go over to the side of the truck beds. I make that C in the OC another 0. So it looks like 00 on the bed. take his can of spray paint, cover up the other one on the side so it looks like 00s everywhere. And thank God. So I had to call the cops. They come, and it's like Barney Fife and his assistant roll up, man. They're like, I don't know what that means, Delbert. I ain't never seen them 00s before. Have you? And bro, he just shrugs it off and rolls on, you know. And so I'm like, all right, I've covered it up. I can get back to what I do, you know. Well, my aunt had dealt with us being idiots for a long time, you know. Me and my cousins. She knew what we did, you know. And she's like private eye of the family. She gets to investigate and gets down there real close and sees that them key marks wouldn't perform at the same time. I mean, she got down there and she figured it out and told my uncle, her husband. So, needless to say, I lose my job. My kingdom comes crumbling down. I lose my house that I was renting from them down by the lake. All this stuff, man, starts crumbling down. So what do we do when we lose everything? We make the knock that we don't want to make. Mommy and Daddy, you still got that free rent bedroom in there?
Yep.
So that's what I did. I went back there. I'm still full blown addiction. Like I said, and in between this time, I had some cousins and family that cooked meth, and I would do it occasionally. It wasn't my thing. It was basically if I was completely out of everything when I was around them, you know.
Well, yeah.
But later on, it would grab a hold, you know. So I'm stuck at Mommy and Daddy's. I end up, oh yeah, Suboxones have come around this time. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you. Love you, brother. And so
he's the original OG of recovery. You hear me?
He is,
the OG of the OG.
Yes, that dude's been doing it.
Yes, sir.
He set the foundation for us.
Yep.
And it's on God for sure. But so Suboxones had come around, you know, methadone's of course always been around, but that wasn't my thing. But so I would take Suboxones to maintain when I didn't have all this money I had and access to, you know, to do things. It was basically play until I got what I wanted, you know. And so I ended up going out in Blakely, Ford Lincoln Mazda, and I landed a salesman job. Like I said, man, we as addicts are high functioning people. We can do anything we set our minds to.
Yes.
So very, very quickly I excelled. Like I said, I'd cut I don't know how to exactly put it. I didn't have the funds to be the addict I was for a minute. So, but I excelled quickly, and I ended up being internet sales manager. I had a glass office out in Blakely, Ford Lincoln Mazda on the front. Here I am, my kingdom. Here it comes again. You know, I'm building it back up. Ego's coming back. Chance is the man again. So I get a place back. I get vehicles back. I get a brand new car demo to drive. And, oh yeah, but right before that, when I was working for Chevrolet, I sold the Wayne County Sheriff's Department their police cars. I would take them, deliver them to them. If they had an issue with them, they'd call me up. I'd go ride with them. You know, it was just like that. And I sold the county their trucks. And even though I was a closet addict, you know, I would still go take care of business, you know. And there's so many people in you know, lines of businesses that are like that, you know, until it finally comes to a head. But anyway, back to out in Blakely. So like I said, I was internet sales manager. I was selling cars on eBay. People would come from New York, everywhere, flying, get their vehicles. Man, I was doing awesome. But so I'd get paid my commission check, and what would I do? Go spend a couple $1,000 on OC, basically 30s then, because they'd reformulate the Oxycontins.
Yep.
So I was injecting my Suboxone. I was injecting whatever I was using, man. It was going in my vein, you know. So I would always be at the car lot, man, having to cover up my sleeves, you know. And it got to where I was so careless that my new car demo, if they come over with a customer wanting to look at it, I'm freaking out, thinking, do I got needles in the middle console? And man, just having to worry about that crap. I don't have to worry about nothing today, you know. Cop gets behind me, whatever. I was so careless, but anyway, every day I would carry UPass synthetic pee on me. Comes in a little bottle with a temperature gauge on it. Truckers use it, and they knew I was jacked up, okay, all the time. So they would take me to the Somerset Hospital. A general manager would drive me up there trying to catch me, you know, and they couldn't. It would pass at the lab and everything. Once again, I'm covering my sins up, man. Trying to bury them. But I started slipping on coming into work on time, you know, and eventually that was his way to get me. So eventually they canned me after 5 years, man. They got tired of my crap. And so my son had been born during that time as well, my first son. The girl I was with, she'd went to prison. So all this stuff's happening behind the scenes, man. It's crazy, but you know, I was trying to raise my kid, but I was a full-blown addiction and didn't know how to handle it, you know, didn't know how to be a dad.
Exactly.
And even though I loved him, but I mean, I didn't love myself, you know. It was a huge thing. And so what did I do after that? My kingdom comes crumbling down. I make the knock again. So I go to mom and dad's with my kid. Walk of shame again, you know. I've lost my new car demo. I sold my truck I'd had, my Jeep Wrangler, all my toys, you know, it's all gone again. So I'm at mom and dad's for a little bit. I go to the boxing clinic to appease everybody for a minute. So then I end up at Southeast Kia. I went to Hyundai and Southeast Kia for a short period of time. I fooled them both into saying that I was the greatest internet sales manager that ever lived, you know. And I wasn't, man. I was a wreck, bro. Straight up wreck. And so, but they bought into it. I get fired from Hyundai from coming in late. I bought me a house in Ferguson, rented me a house, and that was my downfall. Then I hopped to Kia. Like I said, done the same deal, man. I ended up taking a customer's money. I mean, today I can tell on myself and my mistakes that I'll never go back, but that's where it took me, you know?
Yep.
And, you know, it blows me away to even think back on it today, the things I've done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not me today, but man, I was a mess. So when Southeast Kia, I get around some old people, I start doing meth again. And, you know, before I used meth like a gentleman, I smoked it. I didn't snort it. No, there's no such thing as using it as a gentleman. But, you know, it took it to a different level. It did, man. So no longer was I going out and talking to customers, you know, like I would on opiates. I was hiding in the back lot, tripping out in trade-ins, you know. I wouldn't want to talk to nobody, for sure. And then the wrong people, I start letting them come around my house, which I would before some, but I would kind of keep them at a distance with my kid there. But I got to where I was just careless, man. People coming by with meth all the time, and it was right in my face. You know, I would sell it, trade for it. It's always sold pills, and it just eventually, man, it caught up with me. Like I said, I ended up taking the customer's money on a little side deal, and he went and told the general manager, Kia, and he's like, man, I don't want to lose you. You're one of the best we got, but you got to go.
Yeah.
So at this point,
I mean, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like our mind, like, you know, when we're caught up in the grips, when we're full blown, you know, I was a needle junkie straight up, but there's times I will go get 100 pills or even 500 pills and 30s, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, I had easy access, and I would come across a bridge, a big, huge river down in this certain location, and I would tell them that I had to throw the whole bag over the bridge because there's a roadblock, and I wasn't willing to get caught with this bunch of pills.
Yeah.
And because I knew they wasn't going to do nothing, you know what I'm saying? And I basically robbed them, bro.
Yeah.
Like, not one time, but they trusted me 3 times with their money, bro.
Gosh,
Like,
playing with our lives. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Reckless.
but that's stealing, even though we're both caught up. But my
Yeah.
thought was, listen, they're not going to call the police. They're
Yeah.
not going to whoop me. And I know they're going to need me again. Or I would take them 100 pills and keep 10 of them and not even tell them I kept 10.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we will do whatever. We will do whatever to stay high. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm grateful today that that's not our story, man. We don't got to do
Sure,
nothing
man.
to get high, man. We don't got to rob, steal, and cheat, and lie, and manipulate. We ain't got to do that.
No.
I can tell my wife I'm going to the store to get $100 in diapers, well, she door dashes, but my point is, if I say I need $50 for gas, I'm going to put 40 in gas and get 2 Red Bulls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. You know, you're probably like me, man. I hate telling my past, like, because even though we're not glorifying it, some people, man, the problem is a lot of recovery today. People start war storytelling, man, and it's not about that, guys. I encourage you all, man, tell your story to see where you know how far you can go. But the main thing is the hope that you can come out of it. You know, to tell somebody else. But what's up, Abby, the kid?
He told me he was talking to his brother Bam from jail. He said, tell Chint Sweet he loves him.
Love you too, bro. Tell me praying for him, and we know a way out for sure. I'm proud of that kid right there, man. I mean, it's been around his dad a lot. But, you know, back to the story, though. So, like I said, I get fired from Southeast Kia. Like I said, man, my kingdom, every time, it keeps crumbling down. And I always think that I can build this thing up. I can build it up, you know, and I would build it up for a little bit. But the time spans kept getting shorter and shorter, you know, that it would sustain and last. And so now I'm living in Ferguson, in this house that I got rented with no income. I've been fired. I've traded trucks down to get what money I could and still keep a vehicle. Like I said, I'm selling, trading dope. And my mom, she knows what's up. So she calls social services. They come by and they come through my house. My house was clean, you know. Of course, I was getting every crumb off the floor, you know, probably being stupid, you know what I mean? But anyway, my house was clean. There was groceries in there at that moment, and the lights were still on. And they're like, well, everything looks good there, Mr. Sweet, but there's only one other thing. We need you to take a drug test. And I'm like, what do I do, you know? And so I take the drug test. Of course, I fail. They take my son, and I'd raised him, you know, over half his life by myself, man. And because the mother wasn't around, it crushed me, you know. That was the final blow for me to really go off the deep end. You know, my story sounds like I've went off the deep end, but I hadn't found that trap door to rock bottom yet. And that was it. So he gets taken. So, like I said, man, I just go from wake up when I did go to sleep was I lived to do meth, man, and forget about the world and all my problems.
Yeah.
And dude, it got to where I had a whole new group of friends that was just crazy, man. I mean, you know, everybody was in the streets all day, every day, just, you know, doing crazy stuff. And my whole group of friends changed over the years, man, from the buddies I had in school. I didn't talk to nobody. That's like you said, man, your circle, you know, that circle I had then, man, they're all dead or in jail, or
Yes.
a few of them's got recovery, but you know, the odds are not good. So it goes on. I ended up without electric, without water, without nothing, man, skin and bones. I get kicked out of that house. I will say this real quick. So there was a guy that I was friends with for years, man. I'd got him jobs, gave him places to stay over the years, and he was up at that time. He was doing good. And so that always took care of him. On the day I had to be out, I'd sold my truck. I'm like, look, man, I need you here tomorrow. And he never showed up. No, it wasn't your dad, Abby. Your dad would have been there. But the dude, man, did not show up, and it crushed me, you know. It showed me, you know, how people truly were. You know, somebody I thought I could really, somebody that I'd been there every time over the years, dude. It crushed my soul, you know. And to today, man, I got people that I can call at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they don't need a bag of dope. They don't need no money to come. I can't even give them gas money, but they're going to show up and help me in whatever I need, you know. And so I end up, got kicked out. I ended up renting a Better Built barn, dude, in one of the neighbors' backyard. Renting a Better Built barn, dude. We'd sell dope out of it, and everything I had, man, went into there, and it would get stolen when I would leave. Just everything I ever valued, man, my basketball card collection, you name it, everything that I valued was gone over time.
Mhm.
You know, I'd either traded it or it got stolen. You know, the things I got today, man, they ain't going nowhere. What
No.
God has given me, no man's going to take away, you know. So I stay there for a while, and it's just pure craziness. You know, things I seen while I was on the streets, I would never want anybody to see. You know, we'll just keep it at that. And not only that, man, when you're doing methamphetamines, the tricks on your mind, dude, and the things you see. I've seen so many people here lately. I don't know what's in it, but some people I've tried to help here lately, bro, they were talking crazy, man. And you know, but they truly believed it, that these people were after them, going to kill them.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of them was telling me the other day, we took him to this boy to Trillium, and he's telling us about this stuff that's going on in every Dollar General store. Do not go to the Dollar General store. Or what? He wouldn't step foot near it, you know, scared to death of it. But so I ended up leaving the Better Built barn, man. It's a crazy story. I ain't gonna get into that. But so I was pretty much homeless for a year in the streets of Somerset, man. But by the grace of God, I would usually have a couch to rent or something every night, you know. I knew the places to go to and the people I could give them something to stay, you know. Those are who my friends had become then, was what I could give them. So behind the scenes, my mom and dad go and get me Casey lawed. Like I said, I would get arrested a few times here and there, but nothing crazy at that time. And so they go get me Casey lawed, and so when somebody Casey's laws you, they can choose the doctor. They choose the doctor that you go to and got to be evaluated at, and the counselor. So it just happened to be that she chose my son's baby doctor. So I get arrested. They take me into a pediatric care doctor with kids and their mommies sitting there, and I'm shackled, feet and hands, and they're grabbing their babies and stuff. You know, but it was, man, it was humiliating, you know, to be seen in that aspect, you know. When I had this view of myself for years, even though I don't know, I had this ego problem. I had this me problem, you know. I wanted everybody to accept me. And so I ended up getting Casey's lawed, and they send me to Hickory Hill. And at that time when you got court ordered back then, like 6 years ago or something, it was, or 5. There was a list of KRCC facilities. There wasn't all the treatment centers on there now. There is now.
Right.
So they sent me over there for supposed to do 6 months, and I was faking it so I could get out the door. You know, I was getting in trouble, dipping in the building. I wasn't following the rules, you know. What's up, Alexis? Love you, girl. And so I'll say this, this is how serious treatment is. So out of 4 of my homeboys that was over there at Hickory Hill with me, there was 4 of us, man. Today, one of them's gone on to be with the Lord. after he got out, we messed around, dude, and it ended up taking him out. Another one, he's pulling 33 years in the federal prison because of drug charges he caught after. He didn't, sustain and grab a hold of it. And the other one, he caught some charges, but by the grace of God, he got recovery, and I'm here today by the grace of God. So,
Amen.
just out of 4 people, it shows you how serious it is. But so I said I wouldn't follow the rules, wasn't ready to submit and bow down to God or nobody. Still running on self. So I got me a little cell phone, right? I got it tucked away in my little unit there, up in the stall, up in the wall.
Yeah.
Well, they come through. I'm a dummy. One phone ain't enough. I need 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be the Kevin Gates of recovery here, So I had one laying on my bed, didn't even work, just so I could say I had it. Probably, who knows? Anyway, they come in with a wand. They find my stuff, come in like Kenny Daniels on somebody, He got one of them. Well, he got all kinds of cell phones. They come in with it, man, and they next morning it's a 100-man facility. They bring everybody in there, and they said, "All right, Mr. Sweet, stand me up in front of everybody. We're going to dismiss you from the program, and anybody else, full immunity. If you have a cell phone, go get it." And I'm like, "What? No. People going over the hills and hollers, man, underneath the rocks, bringing in bags of cell phones." And so here I am. I'm mad at the world again. Why me?
Yep.
Why does this have to happen to me? Why couldn't I get a break? Here I am, trying to get my relationship with my kids back, my life back, but I wasn't surrendering to nothing, man. So mom and dad wouldn't have nothing to do with me yet because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, and anybody I called, it just wasn't happening. So this is bad. So I'll leave rehab with a buddy I met there with his mom. And so she picks me up, immediately drinking on the way, to her place and hanging out. Didn't have nowhere to go, So we just do what we do, right?
Yep.
So I've done that for a while, man. I ended up going back to Somerset around the same people. My old dope dealer, I hooked up with her, and because she would take me in, I'd go work on their farm, and just that's all we done was that. And anyway, goes on. My dad ends up preaching a revival. And then amidst all my madness, I go on the run for about 6 months. I caught some charges prior to that. So now I'm looking at like a year and a half in jail. And I said they eventually catch up to me. I'm on a couch, finally passed out after doing dope all night. Knock on the door. They come in. They said, "Oh, we're not here to see you, Mr. Sweet. We're here to get her in the back." I'm like, "All right." So I try to go back to sleep. They come back in there like, "No, actually, we do need you to go with us, Mr. Sweet." So I go. Before this happened, though, my dad preaches a revival, and a guy that worked with him, his son was bad on meth, and he went to Life Changers in West Virginia, year-long program. My dad talks to the judge at this revival and says, "Hey, that other place didn't work. Can we try this place?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I said, I get locked up. They take me in front of a judge, and dude, I sit in jail. I didn't know what to do, man. I wanted to change, but I didn't know how. Like, I shaved my head because I wanted to change. Just to change, man. But I didn't know how to get it. I started praying because I quit praying for years, man. I turned my back on God completely. I started praying again. So I get in front of the judge. I'm arguing with my lawyer because my old flesh is still fighting, going and doing this. And he's like, "Well, Mr. Sweet did complete 4 months in treatment. So can we just, trying to get me off the hook, basically." And the judge is like, well, that's all fine and dandy that you did 4 months, but I ordered you to complete a treatment program. So you're going to go to this one for a year. I'm like,
Wow.
what?
Wow.
Yeah. So my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That
Another
4
year?
months wasted, huh?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Mm,
So I had me a little cell phone that didn't even work,
Yep.
and have a dip inside a building is stupid, man. Not surrendering, just what it does.
And that's what I address, like the little stuff. The whole treatment is about attitude and behaviors.
Yeah.
You can't change one without the other, and it's the little stuff that we've always, we want to break the law or break the rules, policy, and procedures to get away with it because
Yeah.
that's how we success. Period.
Yeah.
And we don't, and I teach this. We don't got to react. If the police ask us what we looking at, what are you doing? You don't got to be a smart mouth or what back to them.
Yeah.
You don't got to react. But, you've got to let go, surrender, and let go of the old you. If you don't let go of what you're never going to grow.
That's right.
And that confuses a lot of people. Like the street mentality ain't gonna get you nowhere but dead or in prison.
That's it.
And the blacktop don't love you. There is no love in that blacktop. It's made in listen, it's crushed up rock with some minerals made into it.
Yeah.
The blacktop in the streets don't love you.
No.
And those streets ain't gonna do no time for you. And the street code don't mean nothing, man. But when you grow up that way, man, it's hard to let that go. It's hard to let that mentality go, and it's hard to surrender to opening up to another guy, or hugging another guy, or crying to another guy, or talking to a cop. Like me and my wife dropped our kids off to a cop's house and a social worker's house Saturday to go to Alexis's son, the funeral.
Yeah.
And you listen, that was scary, bro. This is Saturday, 2 days ago. Me and my wife pull up and we look at each other and we're like, do you know that we're dropping our kids off at a cop's house? Like, she's like, I feel like I'm turning my kids over to the state.
Who would have thought, man?
But we didn't have to pay them nothing, bro. You hear me?
Yeah.
We tried, and they said, I dare you to offer me money. And listen, I ain't messing with no cop. You hear me? Like, it ain't happening.
No, for sure. But what you're just saying, man, it's what I was getting to. And so they shipped me out to Beckley, West Virginia, 5 hours away from here, man. And I thought it was co-ed. I got tricked.
Somebody go block that woman right there. I don't know what she's talking about, recovering something, but somebody go block her. Babe, go block her real quick. We don't need that in these comments, please. I can't do it. Go ahead, Chance. I'm sorry.
So I get to Beckley, West Virginia, man, and I go in the program, and I'm coming off stuff. And, I remember all these times I wanted a treatment or try to come off, man. I couldn't sleep, for 30 days. I'd have restless leg, man. Night sweats, just horrible, dude. But I remember getting over there, dude, and like you said, man, we didn't know how to be loved. These guys were coming up to me and were hugging me, man, telling me they love me and what they've been through. The same things I'd been through, and to see them have joy. Happiness is something you can get here on earth, and it don't last though. When you grab a hold of joy sustains you. The Bible says, restore the joy of my salvation. Well, man, when we get down, restore the joy of my sobriety. You remember when you got a few days clean, you start feeling good about yourself again? We got to think back to that, our first love, man, and sobriety and getting sober. But I remember we'd do a morning praise and worship. They'd turn the lights off and play worship music, man. And I remember just like my third day in there, I finally, dude, I got down on the altar and I surrendered. I said, God, take this addiction away from me. Take these past, the harms and hurts against my children. Lord, restore the relationship. Use me as you want to. I surrender. I'm done. And I remember, man, I remember closing my eyes and the lights were off in there. I remember it like yesterday. And all I could see a light of a cross with my eyes closed. And then that was, God's sign for me was, here it is, son. I forgive you. Let's do this. Let's walk this thing out. And man, I went through the program. It wasn't easy. I promise you that. It wasn't easy at all. I had to learn how to follow rules, how to be obedient to somebody else, how to listen to authority. But God placed me there to spiritually grow, man, and to work through all these underlying issues. Because besides being an addict, man, I was a sex addict. Like I said, I was addicted to money. All these things, man. I had these underlying issues that I was jacked up. Just besides addiction, I was really jacked up. But as I worked through the program, man, they taught me how to live again. My relationship with my kids started coming back. And, I prayed for a godly woman. I met a girl that graduated the program there. She staffed on. I graduated and staffed on, and I become intake coordinator of West Virginia Life Changers.
Awesome.
One of the largest rehab facilities in the U.S. And stayed there and staffed on. And God started waking me up in the middle of the night. Let me grab this and show it to you.
Hey, if y'all don't care, hit that heart button, like button, get this shared out, man. I feel like somebody needs to hear this message, man. Chance has been to the bottom. He had to let go of some core beliefs, man. And, the key word is surrender and faith, man. Period.
That's it. So God would wake me up in the middle of the night. I've got it in my Bible somewhere too, but you see this? It's got Jesus holding a stethoscope. It says, "Here I am, Lord, send me." So he woke me up in the middle of the night, and I kept denying it, that he was going to use me. How could he use me? A $2 needle junkie. No good. A thief, man. Addict. Worst of the worst. I didn't care about my kids at one time. Didn't care about nothing. Anyway, he woke me up in the middle of the night. I finally had to sit upright in my bed and write it down. He said, "You were going to go back in your communities and help people." And I questioned it. And he literally said to me, I wrote it down. He said, "If I call you to be a doctor, I will give you a stethoscope. I will give you the tools." He gave me the name, Leap of Faith, which is right there. And so man, I didn't know what aspect he was going to do it, how he was going to use me, but I trusted him, And I said, me and my wife left the ministry, the recovery program. We come back to Kentucky with nothing but Jesus and love, bro, and man, but we had to humble ourselves when we got back. We made a little bit of money there, but nothing to. I had a vehicle I bought from the pasture that God blessed me with, and dude, before we found a good job, we went and worked at Wendy's to make ends meet. We had to humble ourselves, and that's the problem today. People don't want to humble themselves.
No.
So we done that for a little while, and then we both got jobs at the Toyota plant up here in Somerset, and he blessed us. We just started following him. We tried to find a church to get into, and that's the main thing. You got to get rooted somewhere. We went to several churches, and it just wasn't it. And I'm like, "God, you're wanting to use this ministry. You put it on my heart. Why ain't it happening?" Start questioning him, We even done our first recovery event at a church in Somerset. We done the event. It was good. And the pastor kind of hijacked it. We didn't get up there, man. He kind of hijacked it, and it just didn't feel like, but it went good from the people speaking. But then, like, I talked to him after the event. I'm like, let's do this every so many weeks, once a month, whatever. And he's like, yeah. Next day, he's like, somebody at work, man, said, "We probably shouldn't have those people around our church." Well, what do you mean? He's like, oh, well, they might break into the church. They might have drugs in the parking lot. I said, please let me find some of them with drugs in the parking lot. I'm going to tell them about Jesus and what he can do, you know. And so we stopped going there, and I went and visited Jordan Burks. We went to school together. We grew up a mile and a half from each other, man. And Brother Jay, man, he's a man after God's own heart. You met him. The dude that loves everybody, treats everybody the same, man. And that's the way God wants us to, you know, to show everybody love. And so he hooked us up, and we felt God leading us there to go there and serve. You know, and that's what we got to do in recovery is you got to have a servant's heart, you know, remain humble.
Yep.
And help the next person. So we did our first recovery rally October. Let's see, it'd been a year and 3 months ago, I guess, our first one. But man, God has just blessed us. The souls we've seen give their life to Jesus, man, and people start walking out true freedom. You know, trying something different. And it's a community of people together, you know, and there's no, you see church denominations there, we can't have denominations like I'm St. John's Live, I'm this and that, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be one body in recovery, you know, there's too much going on like that behind the scenes. We got to unify. But you know, the documentary too, then, so we kept growing in the recovery rallies and outreach, helping people get treatment placement. And it just blew me away that what God was doing. It's all because I said yes and listened to him. And even though I doubted it and questioned him, he still took me to the place I needed to be. But then so I got reached out to about a recovery documentary about drug addiction in Appalachia. And they said this guy named Peter Sentinella was wanting to do a recovery he was doing a series on Appalachia and could not do it unless he mentioned how drug addiction has affected our whole region. And it has. Not one person watching this right now or anybody in the whole Bluegrass State does not have a family member, brother, sister, cousin, somebody that's been affected by drugs or alcohol, right?
Yep.
So I said, absolutely, man. And I knew God was going to be in it. I never knew what he's going to do. It blows me away. But so I talked with Peter on the phone, and I got to watching his YouTube videos. This dude's going with the Bloods and the Crips, and he's going to the border, man, and just everywhere. Like you said, Mike, he's real and raw about it. So he come into town, and I took him around, showed him places that I grew up and things I've been through. But most importantly, it was to show that there is hope. That no matter all that I went through, just like my story earlier, and I hate telling my story. I hate reliving that past, but then the redemption at the end, it's worth it, you know. To see how far somebody can go, but to see where God can bring you up out of.
Yes.
That's it. But through that documentary, you were in it, Mike, Cliff Bass, the next chapter. But for people to get an inside look at people day one in recovery there, you know, and to see where we've came from, and you'll hear your story. And then after the documentary come out, man, people reaching out from the Philippines, United Kingdom, all over the world started messaging me. I'm like, what? It's just the outpouring of God, man. People seen the video and they're like, I don't know what's going on, but God has touched me. I'm laying my meth down and my alcohol, and I'm going to get this, you know. It's just, what do you say?
Amen. Period.
And we've got another documentary. It's in the works right now. She's getting ready to be flying over from another country to do it. So I mean, just the hand of God, man, doesn't have a zip code, doesn't have an area code, and us all coming united in our region, you know. Mm-hmm. We're taking our region back from the enemy. Drug addiction is no longer going to be a stronghold in our region.
Yep. You know, and that's, and you touched on a few key words, man. Like a lot of people turns a blind eye, but once it comes close to our family, whether it's a kid, cousin, whatnot, whatever, then they want to step up and hey, how can I help? But that's the problem. And you said it like the church people. Well, we don't need those people here, we don't need those people there, and that's the problem, man. We have been shunned away. And that's why I recover out loud, and I don't care who really likes it, period, because listen, I'm going to share my story to the rooftops, but the point of the matter is because God's good and God put me in a position to do that. But I stay humble, but I keep it raw and real because I don't sugarcoat it, because if I don't tell the truth and keep it raw and real, listen, I'm harming you, number one, but number two, I'm not going to enable you to kill yourself. I'm going to tell you just like it is. But if we show more love and quit pushing us away, but it comes to us too. I was such immature. I was a baby. I was poor, pitiful me. Chance won't help me. Chance won't give me no money. Chance won't let me do what I want to do. Chance won't let me stay out late. Chance won't do this. I had to grow up, period. But I had to have somebody teach me how to grow up. And I'm not perfect. Like I'm far from being a full-grown man at 44 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like don't get it twisted. But I have came far from who I used to be before I walked into recovery. Recovery taught me how to grow up, show up, suit up, and I come in full force. Am I the best dad? No. And you know this because me and you have talked about it. I am far from the best dad. I don't claim to be the best father or dad, but I do the best I can do. Am I the best husband? No, I'm not. I do the best I can do. Do I get sidetracked? Yes. Am I the best companionship to my wife? No, I am not. See, I don't get on this platform and act like I'm God and I walk on water because I'm not. My wife will tell you I fall short 27 and a half, 3/4 times a day. But the point of the matter is, I don't got to use today. I don't got to drink today. I don't got to cheat on my wife today. I don't got to beat my kids today. I don't got to steal today. I can own my faults. It may take me a few hours to do it. And the point of the matter is, I can ask God to help me, or I can call Chance or somebody and say, hey, bro, how do I deal with this, man? How do you be a good husband? How do you be a good father? How do you be a good father? Like I start my son's 5. My stepdaughter's 23. Like I didn't become a father till 5 years ago, man. I'm 44 years old, bro. My dad didn't teach me how to be a father. He taught me how to sell dope, and make money.
Yeah.
My mom didn't teach. Listen, recovery people taught me how not to use and drink. But recovery don't teach you how to be a father, how to change a diaper, how to be responsible. The big book and the Bible don't teach you that. But you got to learn that from people that's doing this.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got to get connected to the people that's doing the right thing in life. But me, I still to this day, bro, it's hard for me to say, hey, I need some help, man. How can I be a better father? How can I be a better friend? How can I be a better husband?
Yeah.
Like I was taught one thing, be tough.
That's it, man. It's a learning process, and I got a guy I'm sponsoring, man, and he's got 6 months clean and man, he's learning how to do everything again. We're babes. When we come out of recovery, man, and we've been doing what we were doing for so long, we're babes. Mm-hmm. People learn how to do laundry for the first time, for real. How to cook their own meals, how to do this and do that, and I'm learning, like you said, man, it's a daily process to be a better father, to be a better husband. Like I said, we're going to fall short. Mm-hmm. But we just got to try to do a little better each day, man. And you said it right. Well, we got to call somebody and tell on ourselves, and we got to ask for help.
Yep. And it's I can and I'm going to speak on this today, man. I had Mondays is always hard for us, period. And, we had my phone starts at 7:30. It don't stop. It's me and my wife and a few more, but my phone don't stop. We had a situation, man. And I came home and I came home to get a bite for lunch, man. And, I was stressed out, bro. And I had to leave. I mean, I got in the car and I sat in the car and I had to just understand how I acted
Yeah.
on my family. And they didn't have nothing to do with it, bro. Nothing.
Yeah. Dude.
But my wife's been my punching bag for 7 months, bro. Not really my physical punching bag,
Right.
but she's my go-to, whether it's loving, whether I'm angry, whether I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like she's my real raw ride or die.
Yeah.
And I had to come back and I had to apologize, man, because I was in the wrong and I needed to express myself, and I got one way to express myself, bro. And I'm real here, and I'm real at the church, and I'm real at whether I'm talking to our participants or in the jail. I'm like, I got one way to do it, and it's I'm gonna say it. But and that's something I have to work on is how to handle these situations, and handle it, and leave it at the door. You know what I'm saying? Leave it at the door and not bring it in.
And it's this flesh, man. This flesh gets in the way. The Bible says the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, man.
Mm-hmm.
Our spirit wants to do good, but man, this flesh riles up quick.
Yeah.
Something that God put on my heart, man. This is if anybody's out there in recovery and you're listening to this message and you're fresh out, and we want everything yesterday, don't we, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you fresh out of recovery, you want that new whip right now, right? You want your bank account fat. You ready to get married, have kids. You ready to get the white picket fence, everything. Well, here's how you get it. So this is a verse always stuck out to me. And I always butcher his name, but Habakkuk 2:3. All right. So it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." So the vision I had for my life, I had to close my eyes. I had to get with God. These things I wanted. I had to close my eyes, get in my prayer closet, and I had to think of my curtains and what would they look like? What would the aroma be in the house? The sound of kids' feet running through the house. My dog. I had to take these things and lay it before the Lord. But I had to have a vision of things that would come. But like it says, you get this vision and you take it before God. It's an appointed time. It's not your appointed. It's not on your time. It's His appointed time. And it ain't going to lie. His word don't return void. So, man, anything you ask of Him, the Lord will give you desires of your heart, guys. Like I said, by no means should I be a homeowner today. All right. I've got a boat. I've got a side-by-side. I mean, I've got some things today that just blows me away, that it's nothing to brag on what I've got, number one. But God's blessed me through hard work, and being obedient to Him. My kids come and stay at my house, and hopefully here soon, going to court, hopefully, I ain't going to say hopefully, we're declaring it, God's going to give my kids back. But, take these things before God. He will give them to you guys. He wants you to have life and have it more abundantly. Mike, do you think that you all would have a new car, that you'd have a house, that you would have a recovery program?
I seen the vision like we always wanted. We even in life, we want this, we want that, we want this, but the way we grew up, like I just got my GED 5.5 years ago. My wife's got a high school diploma, but number one, you gotta have money. Number two, you gotta have college, whatnot, whatever. And how many times have we been told in order to do what we do, you gotta have a diploma?
Yeah.
But no, you do not. You don't even gotta have a GED, bro, to do what we do. You hear me? Don't listen. Stop believing all them lies they telling you.
Come on.
All you got to do is have a story and a heart in God,
Yeah.
and God will put you in a kingdom, son, to go out here and say, listen, God will send you right into the war to pack them out on your back. You hear
Come
me?
on. That's it.
Now, it may fall apart in the morning, son. Don't get it twisted. But for today, it's standing tall and the lights are on and shining. But my point is, but we beat ourselves up so bad, bro, that we couldn't do this. We weren't able to do this. Between my wife, I gave up. I threw the keys. I said, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. But we had reasons to for it. But my whole point is, we had a vision, but we doubted, and we didn't have people that believed in us because we didn't have the right people around us. And until God took the wrong people out and put the right people in our life on His timing, not ours, because we want to go into the cigarette or to a bucket. We want to pick the big pieces of candy out ourselves when the prize is in the little egg.
Come on.
See, and sometimes we want to get in there and we want to hurry up and grab 2 or 3 when that little one is the winner. And God's like picking these people out and taking them out, and then he'll throw the prize egg in there, and that's kind of our story, man. On this mission, I talked to a few people. I talked to you about some stuff, and you kept saying, don't give up, man. I even called you to pray for us, bro. Like I asked a few people, Hatton, he knows a little bit. And I said, bro, I need some prayers because there's a few people that's really my true people. And I said, pray for me, bro, because I'm going through it and I'm about to give up. Nothing sobriety threatened. Don't get it twisted, but just life. I'm ready to give up. I'm done with this vision.
Yeah.
But God would throw me a bone and I would smile. And I said, okay, God, I see you.
Yeah.
But it took the right people to put their boot in my butt and smack me in my face and say, Mike, listen, you can do anything as long as God is driving the car. Get out of the driver's seat. Let God drive it. Put your seatbelt on. Put your helmet on.
Let's go.
And hold on. And I had to see that. I had to understand what that really meant. Now, an invisible person can't drive that car. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
You can't climb a ladder with the hands in your pocket. You're going to fall off. And you can't sit on a couch and change the TV with your hands under your butt.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You got to get up and put the work in. And my wife put in amounts of work. Listen, my wife is a beast, bro. She's a beast. She is the brains behind everything St. John Recovery. I'm parking lot Mike. I'm security Mike. I'm intake Mike. I'm real and raw Mike. They call me other bad names, but I really don't care.
Yeah, right. Haters
but at the end of the day, there's love there. And a lot of people doubted us. A lot of people said we're never going to do it. We're going to go financially broke, and we almost did. But God,
yeah.
And they threw us out there in the water, and they gave us a raft, and I weighed 260-some pounds, and I about drowned my wife. So I had to lose a little bit of weight to get us through this ocean. And guess what? We're on the beach, and we're getting ready to go to the fire pit. We're getting ready to get on the hammock. We're going to swing and eat a big steak on the fire pit. Yeah. But we're going to share the steak. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say this: get your vision and put God first, man, and get out of the way. But you got to keep your heart first. And we work from our heart today, not our brain. And people's like, well, you got to work from your brain first. No, my brain got me in trouble, bro.
Yeah. Mike,
I'm the dumbest fool in the shed.
I've seen you. I've watched you grow so much, man. And, I remember last summer, you were having your Job moment. It's like everything was being taken and stripped away. And it's like it was all getting ready to go away. But, man, you learned and you grew through it that you got to praise God no matter what. Yeah. He's got this. It's not us that has it. And, man, I watched you all get rooted in church, man, and it's been a blessing to see you grow, my brother, all y'all, and where God's taking you now. Once you go through that valley, man, he brings you up from it even stronger, And
You know, and I can get on here and I can say this. And my buddy hit me up. He said, Mike, he said, because we stay so busy, Chance, like real talk. And there's a lot of people that reach out to us that I didn't ignore, but I didn't have time to answer them, and I forgot about them. Real talk.
yeah,
But my buddy hit me up. He said, Mike, I don't know if you see this, and I want you to listen to what I'm saying. He said, I've watched you on this whole journey from start to finish. And he has. He said, I don't know if you've seen when the progress really changed because you're busy.
yeah,
He said, when you started going to church and really bought in, he said, the recovery part, you got all that toolbox full.
right.
He said, when you started going to church and promoting God and working for God, he said, that's when that big door opened. And that hit me, bro. This is the first time my wife don't even know about this. She knows about it now. She don't know who it is.
Yeah.
But that hit me, and I had to sit back and reflect and rewind the tape. And I went to Facebook and I rewound to dates because that's why I do Facebook for memories. And I rewound and do the time and the dates to the trial and error.
Woo.
And it all made sense, bro. And God threw us a bone.
Yeah, he did.
You know, and it's just that simple. And we didn't give up.
I got some Holy Spirit chills over that, man. Woo.
Faith tells me that no matter what lies ahead of me, no matter what mountain, no matter what wall, no matter what roadblock, no matter what flood, God has got me as long as I keep showing up.
Yep. Obedient, man. Just be obedient. And, you know, the people God's put in our lives today, the kingdom connections, you know. Woo. Tell somebody, Mark.
Without Jesus, I'm a dry drunk. I don't chase happiness anymore. I rest in his peace and joy and how you say that? Contentment. Contentment.
Yeah.
Awesome. You know, and like he's another one, bro. He's been through it, done it, and you know, he's got a story too, and I can't wait to hear it. You know, and it's people like that, man. It's paved the road for us, man. That and I called him the other day. I had back to vision, and then here's Mark popping in here. I called Mark the other morning I sent him a message at 7:30 or no 7:59 because I didn't want to wake him up. And I said, Mark, I got a vision, but I don't want everybody to know. And I trust you, but I want to let you know how do I do it. And he said, I got to go do this. I'll call you. And he called me earlier and because he knows how to do it. And he's like, bro, like, I love your vision. Like, yeah, I can't speak on it. I'm not allowed to.
Right. Kingdom connections, man. That's what it's all about. When you let God put the people in your inner circle, man, just it blows up. You know, and I don't know where he's taking everything, but I know I'm going to be obedient and be ready. And when he asked me to speak somewhere and go, man, I'm ready. He's got huge plans for all of us. And if you're in recovery and you give it to him, look out, because you have no idea the path he's getting ready to take you on, the blessings that are coming.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know, it's, you know, when things, for a long time, you know, things wasn't where I wanted them to be. But, you know, I come to realization that I have to remain in Christ no matter what. Okay. I'm not going to be shaken. I don't care if it's my kids, if it's a lot of that I dealt with in the past, and no matter the naysayers, the this and that, man, like I said, you know, I had to have my Job moment. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to shake my head and sit in my sackcloth and my ashes. My whole world's crumbled around me, but I'm going to remain in you, God. And man, he will see you through. We're proof of that.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's 10:30, bro. We've been on here an hour and a half. Listen, bro, you're a shining light, man. And I know you got to get up early and go to work.
But we get
thank
to do
you.
these things today.
You know, thank you for your story. Thank you for just being you. Thank you for, you know, just showing up and helping people, man, because, you know, without you, without us, without everybody that's in these comments, man, you know, I mean, it's untelling who's going to run across this. It's untelling who, you know, it's going to reach out. You know, it's what it's about. And that's why I recover out loud, man. My
Yeah.
wife, you know, I hopefully she'll be on here one day. It's about time. She was in the comments, and I would love for y'all to hear her story too, because she's got a powerful story. You know, and you know, she does a lot that nobody sees, and you know, she's the brains. I'm just walking like Mike, but
I'll give a shout out to my wife. She's man, she holds me down and holds her family down, and she's and she don't get enough credit. You know, she does a lot behind the scenes too, and it's
yes, like we've been here an hour and a half, and my kids are out here wild and running up down the hallway, beating on the door, and I'm like, shh, shh, shh. But you know, my wife does a lot too. She don't want no. She don't. I'm the camera and the voice. She's the brains, and
yeah,
you know, she don't want no whatever you call it, credibility or
right.
I don't know the word to use, but you know, she holds the fort down, man, because I couldn't do what I'm doing. I couldn't do my jail ministry. I couldn't do this. I couldn't, you know, get out here and you know, do what we do without her. You know, she's the financial woman. She's I mean, she's the brain. She's smarter than I am, but sometimes I think I'm smarter than her, and it gets me in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
We're not chasing clout today. We're chasing souls. You know what?
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen, Chance, man, I love you. Thank you. I don't know when I'll see you again, but you're welcome to the jail anytime, bro. Whenever, let me know. No, I will see you May the whatever date it is. I'll have to look it up. I've been so busy, but yeah, I'll see you May. But listen, man, I love you. Get some sleep. You got to go to work in the morning, and thank you.
Love you, brother.
All right, see you, bro.
See you.
Awesome message from Chance, man. You know, he's another miracle, another success story, man. He came from the bottom. You just heard the story. And today he's living a life free of drugs and alcohol, free of being homeless, free from living in I think he said, a better built barn. And what's crazy is I pinned a comment here, which is the YouTube link of the documentary we are in, me, him, and Cliff Bass from Peter Santelio on YouTube. If you go through the comments, you can click on that link and go watch it. And it's an awesome video, but he lived in a better built barn. And, you know, I do share my story from where I came from because, you know, I do that so people can relate. And something in my story from the beginning can catch your eye, or something in my sentence you can relate to. And you know, we've all done bad stuff, either jail, prison, robbed, stole, cheated, manipulated. You know, number one, you got to ask for forgiveness. God done forgive us. Number two, we got to make amends, and you got to forgive yourself. You know, we can't change what we done, but we can change what we're doing for today. We're not promised tomorrow. You know, live in today, and you know, just stay humble, show love, and that's what it's about. So, everybody that joined tonight, man, thank you. I think we was up to 35 people, man. Share this out. Powerful message. Everybody from Richmond, thank you all for supporting me. I know I've not been live in months, but me and my wife has been 10 toes down, man. We've been busy. And, you know, I know it's my fault. This live helps a lot of people, man, but I promise you I'll be coming back and getting this podcast back up and going because I should be able to as the few weeks get, you know, as we get going. Thank you. Thank you for always supporting me. Thank you for always tuning in, man. Thank you for always sending me messages, man. If you need help, there's help available, man. Not just to us, but this is St. John Live, man. But there's so many people in these comments, man, that can help you and point you in the right direction, man. Like, you know, I'm not here promoting what we do. I mean, this is about unity, what everybody's doing. There is so much help, but now everybody's place is not the best place. I'm going to say that. I refer to 2 or 3, and that's it. I mean, that's on me. And but you don't got to live in hell no more, man. You don't got to put a needle in your arm no more. You don't got to rob your mom and dad no more. You don't got to. I never dreamed this life was possible. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't have my kids. I shouldn't have my wife. God believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I had to surrender. God, please help me. I'm done. And I was done. I didn't know how to live. I didn't want to live. I wanted to die. And my mom walked in on me with a pistol in my lap and a needle in my arm. I give up everything that I had. And I had it all. But I was miserable. My dad's doing 8 years. My stepdad's doing 8 years. My real dad's dead. My mom's at home, barely surviving. I've seen it all. I've been involved. Thank God I'm not in prison and I'm not dead. And I'm not willing to play Russian roulette with my life anymore. And that's why I deliver this message raw and real. The next one will kill you. The next one will kill you. I'm not going to lie to you and say, well, you can do one, it may not kill you. The next one will kill you. And I will come and preach at your funeral. I will do that. If you're struggling, reach out. There's a better life. There is hope after dope. I love you all. Thank you. Recovery is possible. We'll see you all next Monday. Have a good night.
You ain't got cold chill, something's wrong with you. Gotta know it. You in the wrong building. Know where to turn.
I could really use a friend right now. Yeah, I just need a friend. I'm staring at my window pane. I'm staring at my window pane. I could use a friend. I could use a friend. I just need a friend right now. Right now. I'm staring at my window pane.
I'm counting raindrops. Like, where's God at? When will the pain stop? Like, when will this be over? How come I can't stop? I swear to God, I can't stop. I ain't believing God, still I would pray to him. When no one else around, when they brought them trays to him.